Picture this. You're Liv Morgan, Royal Rumble winner, Judgment Day royalty, the most talked about woman in WWE right now. You're sitting in a backstage interview chair, smiling, playing games with the world, enjoying every second of keeping everyone guessing about your WrestleMania 42 opponent. And then she walks in. No music, no fanfare, just cold, quiet fury. And by the time Stephanie Vaquer was done speaking, Liv Morgan was in tears. Drop a crown in the comments if you think Vaquer earned every word of that promo. Let's see how this chat splits. Stay with me, because what happened next on February 23rd makes this whole story even more unhinged. To understand why this confrontation hit so hard, you have to understand what Liv Morgan was doing in the weeks leading up to it. After winning the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble and outlasting 29 other superstars, Liv had a golden ticket in her hands, a guaranteed WrestleMania title match of her choosing, either Stephanie Vaquer's Women's World Championship on Raw or Jade Cargill's WWE Women's title over on SmackDown. And what did Liv do with that power? She played with it. Week after week, she bounced between both shows, teasing both champions, smiling that devilish smile, dragging it out because she knew the longer she waited, the more eyes were on her. That's the Liv Morgan playbook. Control the narrative. Make them sweat. On February 16th, she sat down with Michael Cole backstage on Raw for what was supposed to be the night she finally revealed her pick. But instead, she laughed, said she was still enjoying keeping everyone guessing, and left us hanging again. Classic Liv, calculated, smug, in total control. Or so she thought. Because while Liv was busy playing queen, Stephanie Vaquer had clearly had enough. The Women's World Champion walked into that backstage interview, uninvited, unannounced, and delivered one of the most electric promos Raw has seen in years, and she delivered it entirely in Spanish. Now, for non-Spanish speakers watching live, you had Dominic Mysterio standing there awkwardly trying to translate, which added this incredible layer of chaos to the whole scene. But the translation that eventually came out, it was a verbal wrecking ball. Vaquer looked Liv dead in the eyes and said, "Did you say 10 years of hard work? You working hard? That's bull." She went on, "You've sacrificed nothing. WWE gave you everything, the best training, the best medical. You were handed everything on a plate." And then she dropped the line that silenced the room. "I was born in Chile, a country where professional wrestling doesn't exist. And even so, I traveled the world. Japan, Mexico, Latin America, Europe. I conquered everything." She told Liv she was hiding behind Judgment Day, hiding behind a man, hiding behind Dominic. "I went through hell and made it mine. This belt is for all the girls who never got the opportunity and made it anyway." And she finished with a warning. "Liv, if you pick me, you won't win, because I'm going to show you what a real champion looks like." Drop a crown in the comments if you think Vaquer earned every word of that promo. Let's see how this chat splits. And Liv, the woman who spent months being unshakable, she cried, on camera, in front of the world. Now here's where it gets complicated, and this is the part that the dirt sheets aren't really talking about. Because Vaquer's promo was electric, passionate, genuine. You could feel the chip on her shoulder built from years of grinding on every continent before WWE ever called her name. But let's not pretend Liv Morgan didn't grind. This is a woman who was working at Hooters when a visiting wrestler happened to connect her to WWE. She clawed through NXT. She spent years being overlooked on the main roster. She didn't win her first singles championship until 2022, after 5 years on television. She cashed in Money in the Bank. She reinvented herself completely. Is that the same as Vaquer's path? No, probably not. But is it nothing? Absolutely not. What Vaquer did was weaponize her own suffering, and whether you think she was right or not, you cannot deny the effect it had. She found Liv's vulnerability, that deep-seated insecurity about legitimacy, about whether she truly belongs at the top, and she put her fist right through it. That's not just a promo, that's psychological warfare. And there's one more layer here that nobody is talking about. Vaquer later posted an Instagram story apologizing for saying professional wrestling doesn't exist in Chile. She clarified that she meant it didn't exist when she left, that what she said live on TV was a mistake in wording. So even the champion, in the middle of the most dominant promo run of her career, had to step back and correct herself publicly. That's a real person, with real emotions, under enormous pressure. Which only makes this WrestleMania match feel more real than almost anything else on that card right now. Team Vaquer or Team Liv? Drop your flag in the comments. I'm watching this one closely. But here's where the story gets a whole other level of wild. Because Liv Morgan, she didn't cry for long. 1 week later, on February 23rd, she came back to Raw with a decision and a weapon. The segment started with Dominic Mysterio in the ring, introducing Morgan as, and I quote, the greatest Intercontinental Champion, AAA Mega Champion, and Royal Rumble winner of all time. Both Vaquer and Jade Cargill were brought out to stand face-to-face with Liv as she made her choice. Morgan addressed the crowd. She admitted that Vaquer's words had caught her by surprise, that she had never been that vulnerable, that it shook her. And then, in classic Liv Morgan fashion, she turned it into fuel. She called Vaquer something I can't repeat on this channel. Let's just say it was a very spicy Spanish word, and Vaquer lost it. The champion slapped Dominic Mysterio, and in the chaos that followed, Liv Morgan hit Vaquer with the microphone, threw multiple punches, hit a codebreaker, and then, using Vaquer's own championship belt to set it up, she planted her with the Oblivion. Stood over the champion, belt in hand, message sent. Liv Morgan had chosen her WrestleMania 42 opponent, and she chose violence. That finishing sequence was cold. Is Liv Morgan the most dangerous heel in WWE right now? Tell me in the comments. So here we are, Vaquer versus Morgan, official, WrestleMania 42, Las Vegas. And this isn't just two women fighting over a title. This is a collision between two completely different ideas of what it means to deserve to be a champion. On one side, Stephanie Vaquer, a woman who left her entire country behind, who spent years on the international circuit with no safety net, no guarantee, no WWE system holding her up, who earned every callus, every flight, every moment of doubt before she ever set foot in that performance center. And when she finally got here, she didn't just compete, she conquered. NXT Women's World North American title, NXT Women's title, and now the WWE Women's World Championship, all within a single year. On the other side, Liv Morgan, a woman who was told no in a dozen different ways for nearly a decade, who reinvented herself more times than most wrestlers reinvent themselves in a career, who found a darker, more dangerous version of herself and became must-see television every single week, who won the Royal Rumble this year in dominant fashion and is now about to headline WrestleMania. These two women are not enemies because of a contract. They're enemies because they represent opposing truths, and neither one is willing to back down. That promo on February 16th didn't just sell a wrestling match, it sold a war, a personal, emotional, deeply felt war that is going to tear the roof off whatever arena they wrestle in. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch Liv Morgan's face in that interview chair. Watch the exact moment Vaquer's words land. Watch the tears. That's not a story. That's real. And WrestleMania 42 is going to be electric because of it. So that's where we are. Vaquer, Morgan, WrestleMania 42. A rivalry built on tears, fury, a slap across Dominic's face, and one of the most devastating Oblivion deliveries you'll ever see. And we want to know, right now, where you stand. Is Stephanie Vaquer the right champion who finally put an arrogant Liv Morgan in her place? Or did Vaquer cross a line, and is Liv Morgan about to make her pay for every word of that promo on the grandest stage of them all? Drop your take in the comments. We read every single one. This channel exists because of you. And if this video got you fired up, if this is the kind of deep dive you want more of, smash that like button right now. It takes 2 seconds and it tells YouTube to show this to more wrestling fans who deserve to know what's actually happening. Subscribe to WrestleScope if you haven't already. We cover the stories that matter the way they deserve to be covered. No fluff, no filler, just the real stuff. Notifications on, because this Vaquer Morgan saga, it is far from over. We'll see you in the next one.